Stand by. The program will begin soon.
There's an example yesterday I saw of this woman who's been here. We might even play this clip. She's been here 20 years. She has 3 kids who were born here. Her kids are because of birthright citizenship, which is another subject that's coming up. And she's never bothered to even try to resolve her immigration status. Not in 20 years. She has never tried to resolve her immigration status. Not through Republican presidents, not through Democratic presidents, nothing. And so now, she's worried about being deported because they put out the sob story of this woman. Well, that's not the average person they're even looking at right now. The average person they're looking at crossed in the last 3 years are CNN is cutting jobs to embrace the digital future. No, they're cutting jobs because, as I like to say, they suck. CNN is undergoing significant restructuring, planning to lay off about 200 employees, which constitutes approximately 6% of its workforce. This move is part of a broader strategy under CEO Mark Thompson to pivot towards a digital-first approach, focusing on expanding digital subscriptions and reducing costs from traditional TV operations. Wait a minute. Didn't they already try the CNN subscription service, which failed miserably? Which, if you truly have compassion for trans kids, you would allow them to all go through puberty, because 90% of kids who think they're trans change their mind once they go through puberty. That puberty is the fix for most of the problems. But you guys want the medicalization of kids and sterilization of kids and medical and surgical altering of kids who can't make that decision at 12 years old or 13 years old. Diablo asks, why is it when I try to show empathy and concern, people always misconstrue it? Last time I asked someone if their mom at least got a good check from the clinic that botched the abortion. Oh! Oh, God. Damn it, AD. I think you just need to find a gentle way.
Stand by. The program will begin soon.
I would be willing to bet everything I own that submitting a 22-minute video montage that shows the most egregious acts of violence you can find from that day, when the defendant in question is on that video for only 6 seconds and the scene walking calmly, is highly prejudicial and a violation of the defendant's due process rights. The person was found guilty and sentenced to 19 months in prison. Now, it took 2 hours to read through all of the documents that were in the case file. Every motion submitted by the defendant was denied. Every motion by the defendant was denied. How often does that happen? And every motion submitted by the government was granted. They turned a trespass misdemeanor that would have resulted in a $50 ticket into 5 misdemeanors and a felony charge by charging the defendant with a statute that would have required the Secret Service to rope off the section he was in, which they did not. They also charged him with a statute that would have required them to prove Mike Pence was in the building at the time he walked through that corridor. He was not. And they used an Enron statute that the Supreme Court struck down. If you accept a pardon, you are admitting guilt. Period. That's the because you can't be pardoned if you're not guilty.
Whether he can preemptive part, whether he can issue. The president's reportedly asking his staff whether he can issue preemptive pardons for himself, his family members, Rudy Giuliani. There's a simple answer: no. No, Mr.
Oh,
that
you
would be a
can't?
gross abuse
Oh,
of the presidential
it's a
pardon authority.
gross abuse of presidential pardon authority. Well, there you go. You accepted a pardon, Adam Kinzinger. You think you may have committed a crime. Oh, here, J.B. Raskin. Dirty Q-tip. Dirty Q-tip, J.B. Raskin. What else? What did he have to say?
Well, the seeking of pardons is
Yes, it's only on
powerful
one side.
demonstration of the consciousness of guilt. Or at least the consciousness that you may be in trouble.
J.B.
And that's
Raskin.
what's so shocking
Did he
about
get a
this.
pardon also? Wasn't he on that
The
committee?
seeking of pardons is...
He was on that committee. I'm curious if you're going to condemn that part. Are you going to condemn that pardon?
You know, Joe Biden pardoned a lot of people. Yeah, he should answer for that and explain.
Lots of murderers, lots of drug dealers, lots of people who killed people, commuted the sentence of a couple murderers. One who, in fact, one drug dealer who people died from taking the drugs that they sold them.
Stand by. The program will begin soon.
The Obama Aniston rumors have gone wild. Rumors have emerged on social media that suggest Barack and Michelle Obama might be heading towards divorce, with speculators linking Barack Obama to actress Jennifer Aniston. Those rumors have gained traction following Michelle Obama's absence from Jimmy Carter's funeral and the inauguration, and are based on tabloid stories and social media speculation without solid confirmation from the individuals involved. So far, they're still rumors, and I don't know why people are perpetuating them, but it is kind of fun to perpetuate rumors like that. No one's come out to, out and out deny anything. That's the weird part.
We should just take a deep breath and acknowledge the audacity.
The
of a
audacity!
president who's so clearly
The
concerned about his own
audacity!
criminal culpability.
Oh my God, his own criminal culpability and his son's business dealings. I know that they're talking about Joe Biden, aren't they?
And that of his family members.
Like the boy asked, are cats really soul suckers? Yes. Yes. That's why I'm not into cats. Dogs, man. I'm a dog guy. Avocado Sally, is there an aisle in the grocery store that is less objectionable to have sex in? Where do you come up with this shit? Dude.
Has done something no person in the world has ever done before. A dead man, a dead politician has risen.
Yes.
Somebody who 4 years ago at Davos, he's buried, a dead.
And I wonder how many people at Davos have been funding Donald Trump's demise that has failed. I wonder how many people at Davos, again, let me say it again. I wonder how many people at Davos have been funding what they had hoped would be Trump's demise. I bet you there's a few of them there. And it didn't work, did it now? Didn't work now, did it?
Politically known to me. He's now returned. This is the greatest comeback in political history of a politician. And then, therefore, he thinks he can do anything.
At the end of the show, every day on my show, if I put something on the screen or I'm talking about it or it's a topic or an article that I'm presenting in this show, I provide links to every single thing that I've talked about, and even more, the ones I didn't even get to. I drop them in the chat at the end of the show, and also I drop them in the description. So if you want to find these articles, they will be in the links at the end of the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, the one and only P-Dog Night.
Yeah, I don't know if the location's all that hidden, honestly, but, you know, it is what it is. All right, here we go. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Night Live. I'm your host, Marty, also known as P-Dog Night on the internet. Welcome back to the P-Dog Night channel, where we're going to talk about some pew-pew action that's probably not going to generate any riots or burning buildings, but it is curiouser and curiouser. And yes, we're talking about this guy who was shot by police. And people jump to conclusions. Lots of people just posting stupid nonsense. You know what I'm saying. And we're going to talk about that. But there's a whole lot of stuff going on, a lot of stuff trending. And I probably won't get to any articles today. I dropped the aggregator and the links today, or I will drop it in the links, but because I didn't even open a bunch of articles, because there's so much stuff just happening right now. Just crazy stuff. So, and some not so crazy, just interesting. You know how it goes. So, before we do any of that, I'm going to say hi to the people who have deigned it possible to express your opinion in the chat and have done so. So, first in the chat today, of course, is Mr. Avocados Diablo, who gets the bell. There you go. Also, good morning to Kara Soldier, Mike Savage, Blarg. John, how you doing? What's this now? Well, stick around and find out. Good morning also, Attack Alpaca, Tire, Alexander, the Scourge, and who else is here? Well, nobody. Mrs. Hayes, what's up? Lord Stanhope, hello. Good morning, Resolute Germ. And where is everybody? Did the notification not go out? Somnambul Nation's here, I see. Anyway, so what's this now? What do you mean, what's this now? Just, are you still here, John? John, just blink if you're still here. I'm just curious. All right, at this point, it's more AD's show than Marty. No, it's not. Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. No. Hello. Oh, and good morning. There's my other favorite Canadian, Unacceptable Views in the chat. All right, let's just, we'll just get rid of the silly stuff now. And we'll get it. A lot of different things trending, but a couple in particular that I want to talk about, as I already mentioned. So let's start with let's start with a special day. It's a special day. Oh, wait. Well, some of you have already done that show thing that we do, like drop a let's go in the chat and all that. So here we go. Thank you. First of all, who's here first? People have retweeted the show. I hope you didn't retweet the wrong one, though. I'm kind of bummed. I accidentally... Is that the one yeah, that's the one I had to get rid of. So I had to get rid of one of them because I realized it didn't change the YouTube link. And so if you retweeted the first part of the show, the new one's up on the top of the chat. But thanks for those who did it anyway. Let's see. Is this the wrong one, too? Yeah, that's the wrong one. Sorry about that, people. First of all, I got a new follower on X, Johnny Cadillac. Never heard of Johnny Cadillac. Good morning. If you happen to be in the chat, that's cool. But I think Mike Savage got the right one, maybe? Yes. Well, Mike Savage got the let's go one. I didn't put this on the screen. Here you go. Mike Savage, thank you for retweeting the show. Also, Somnambul Nation, dropping a Michael Bolton in the chat. What is that from? Michael Bolton cocking a pistol, or chambering a bullet with a pew-pew. What is that from? Anyway, let's go. We can do this. Also, Amazing Disgrace with Gromit. Is that the name of the dog? Something Gromit. Putting out his own railroad track. That's funny. What else? And then some people have retweeted the show. Man Squatch and Reaction Puerto Rico. Amazing Disgrace and Somnambul Nation. Thank you, Simon Wilkins, for doing it on your own. And Reaction Puerto Rico with the I can do that. All right, there you go. Anyone else show up? My favorite Canadian Jaeger ponies here. Furry Kitten, John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt. His name is my name too. I always sing that wrong. It's John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt. His name is my name too. Whenever we go out, the people always shout, singing John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt. La 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 la. Also, good morning, Anna Lynn and Vader35. People are strolling in slowly but surely. I appreciate you. Thank you for being here. And tell your friends, tell your neighbors, share the stream and all that stuff. 24 people, 14 likes. Hit the like button, and we're going to go and get this thing started now. All right, John, are you still here? The John that just said, what's this, John? Is this the, oh, you know, that kind of looks like the John. Is that the John that came in here complaining about what I was talking about? Looks like they already deleted themselves, too. Message retracted. That's somebody else. Are you still here, John? John, hello, John. John, did you run away already? Gosh. I love making you sing that. Is that you with the John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt? God bless America. What's wrong with you, Tyre? All right, here we go. Let's get into some things that are happening. Today is National Lego Day. Okay, the Lego brick was patented on January 28th, 1958. So today is International. Oh, it's international. It's International Lego Day. It's not just National Lego Day. It's International Lego Day. And this guy says, boy, am I here to celebrate. As a AFOL adult fan of Legos, I've been building sets for years. I'm the easiest okay, apparently this guy really is into Legos. Let's see what he has to say about Legos.
January 28th is International Lego Day. That's the day that the Lego brick was first patented. And it's a special day for me.
Nice. Look at that. Wait a minute. I just noticed that the cat next to him is made out of Legos. That's kind of weird. Okay.
A fan of Legos, we call ourselves. I'm sitting here in my home office surrounded by a couple of my favorite builds. I've got the typewriter, Percy the cat, or tuxedo cat. I've got the Coliseum over there.
This dude's been
the
busy.
Space Shuttle, Starry Night, a Mustang GT 350 I built with the boys during COVID, and some great Harry Potter builds over there as well. You can also see
this
my
guy's a little
homage
too
to the
serious.
Beatles with the Let It Be album cover.
No way!
And finally, concluding with the Lord of the Rings, their newest build. The best thing about being an AFOL is that my kids and family know exactly what to give me for Christmas and for my birthday.
I gotta be honest.
Most of what you see down here are builds. Last year they gave me the Titanic.
These are pretty
and the
cool.
year before that, the Eiffel Tower. Those are two big.
Only half of the Titanic because it broke in half. Get it? That's actually pretty cool. He's made some cool stuff.
Life and work combined. So as the Ford archivist, I love the GT story, and as a Lego hobbyist, it's going to be great to get this. I'm going to get to build my own GT. I want to conclude by saying, if the Lego archivist somehow sees this video, I would love to get to visit Lego House and visit your archives. I'd also love to give you a reciprocal tour of the Ford archives here in Dearborn. So happy Lego Day for all who celebrate. I know I do.
All right, there you go. There you go. It's International Lego Day, and I can't tell you how excited I am. Okay, good morning, Evan S., by the way, and Plague Trucker Zach. And there you go. At least with Legos, you can show off your work. Yeah, no, I don't have a problem if he's he does artsy shit like that with Legos. That's pretty cool. So here in the Twin Cities, we have the Mall of America, the gigantic mall in Bloomington, Minnesota, and they have a giant Legoland there. Or I think is it called Legoland? I don't know. There's an amusement park in the middle of in the mall, and then there's also I don't know, it's called Legoland or whatever. They have all these giant Lego sculptures. We're talking like some of them 40 feet tall Lego sculptures. It's pretty cool to see. So anyway, happy International Lego Day. Also, it's National. Oh no,
January 28th.
No, dude, we've already heard it. We already heard it. Yeah, there's lots of people putting up their Lego stuff, and I'm not gonna. My only concern is if I scroll too far, you might get some like a Lego penis or something. So I'm not going to scroll anymore. Well, what was that? Holy. Okay, like I said, you're going to get some weird shit. Also, it's National Blueberry Pancake Day. Why? Because people like blueberry pancakes. So happy Blueberry Pancake Day. Celebrity birthdays. Yesterday, I missed it, but it would have been John Witherspoon's 83rd birthday. Happy heavenly birthday to John Witherspoon, the actor. Very funny man. Also, Nick Carter from the Backstreet Boys. Those are the two birthdays that I saw as I scrolled through X. So there you go. There's the celebrity birthdays. In the news, Senator Gary Peters from the state of Michigan, apparently has decided he's going to retire. Now, that's interesting because Michigan has, I believe, has 2 Democrat senators. And this is up for grabs. U.S. Senator Gary Peters from Michigan has announced that he will not seek re-election in 2026, creating an open seat in a state known for its competitive political landscape. The announcement has sparked, oh God, why do these grok summaries always say, well, the announcement has sparked significant discussion on X, blah, blah, blah. No shit. Anyway, let's see. This is from Detroit News. Michigan's Gary Peters won't seek re-election. And here's why. Gary Peters, Michigan's senior senator and former congressman, said he won't seek re-election next year and will retire from the U.S. Senate when his second term ends in January 2027. In an exclusive interview, the Bloomfield Township Democrat told the Detroit News that he's ready to leave public office in 2 years and move on to a new chapter that includes spending more time with his family, particularly a new grandchild who lives on the West Coast. Quote, I always thought there would be a time that I would step aside and pass the reins for the next generation. I also never saw service in Congress as something you do your whole life, said Peters, who was first elected to the Senate in 2014. And that goes back to 2008 when I first won that House seat. I thought it would be better. It would be a matter of a few terms that I would serve and then I would go back to private life. Peters' decision is likely to surprise many of his colleagues and ignite an intense scramble on both sides of the aisle for his seat in battleground Michigan. At 66, Peters is relatively young for U.S. Senator, which is unfortunate. Got some old crusty fuckers in the Senate. But after 10 years in the Senate and 6 in the House, he has decided to pass the torch to a younger generation. Okay. Gary Peters is 66 years old. Even more correctly, Gary Peters out. Yes, he peters out. What's the over and under that the new senator from Michigan will be older than Gary Peters? What's the likelihood? It depends, I suppose. I'm curious also, is he getting in trouble for something? Did he get caught doing something he's not supposed to be doing? Did he diddle someone who didn't want to be diddled? Did he embezzle some money? Did he do some stock trades that were very questionable? I don't know. Or is he just being real? I'm curious because especially in the Senate, he served 2 terms in the Senate. I think he was I think he only did 2 terms in the House too. No, he did 3 terms in the House, 2 terms in the Senate. How is it that he's retiring? It's just odd, and Democrats aren't. He didn't get pushed out by Democrats. Democrats need every Democrat they can get. So it's very interesting. Anyway, again, at 66, Peters is relatively young for U.S. Senator, but after 10 years in the Senate, 6 in the House, he has decided to pass the torch to a younger generation. He has other things he wants to do, like finding endless winding roads for his Harley Davidson. It's a decision he's been mulling for several months. I think it's pretty normal for everybody to say, I've done a job, a ringing endorsement of himself, and I'm proud of that job, but there are other things I want to do in my life. There are other ways that I can give back to the community. Okay, interesting. Now, what's this down here? A blow to Michigan clout. Peters has trained much of his focus in Congress on issues related to Michigan's auto industry, the Great Lakes, cybersecurity, veterans issues, toxic PFAS contamination, and initiatives to make government more efficient. No. Sorry. What has he done to make government more efficient? His annual motorcycle tour around the state has become a staple of the lawmakers' August recess. I just think he's wanted to travel more. And since I think he gets a congressional pension, so whatever. So anyway, that's going to be interesting. The the fight for that seat's going to be interesting. It's going to be, fully within Trump's, first term, because I think he's supposed to be up in 26, right? So it'll be interesting to see if Trump is able to gain another seat in Michigan, since he won it as a swing state. Just depends on how things go with Donald Trump. And I think right now he's as popular as he's ever been, much more popular than he was during his first term. His approval rating is pretty high, even though a lot of these Democrats don't know what to do with it. So moving on, Colombia is still trending. And I think it's still because of the little thing that happened with Donald Trump and the president of Colombia when the Colombia backed down. So people are still talking about it. Now it's interesting. It's very odd how Mexico, Honduras, Colombia are all so indignant about taking back their own citizens. They know who we're sending back. Yeah, they're sending back a lot of criminals, and that's why they're upset. Here it is, breaking. Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum condemns Donald Trump's attacks on immigrants and stresses the Mexicans there sustain the economy of the United States in the countryside and services everywhere. Well, shouldn't they be sustaining the economy of Mexico? I mean, why? Oh, wait, they do, because they all send their money back to Mexico. So that's why they're upset. Now by the way, yesterday I mentioned this thing about someone complaining about Donald Trump being on vacation. And so it was this person right here, Claude Taylor, on vacation 5 days after being sworn in, not just the worst and most corrupt president in history, but also the laziest. He played a round of golf after a week where he's probably worked 80 hours. What are you talking about? And somebody says playing golf is not being on vacation. Also, this was Sunday, which means he made Colombia bend the knee from the golf course. Thank you for pointing it out. That's funny. All right. So anyway, that's why Colombia is trending. Moving on, Selena Gomez is trending because she's very upset that we're sending criminals and lawbreakers back to wherever they came from. You probably already saw this. So Selena Gomez put out this weeping post that a lot of people made fun of.
Say that I'm so sorry. So many people are getting attacked. The children.
What children? What children?
I don't understand. I'm so sorry. I wish I could do something, but I can't. I don't know what to do. I'll try everything, I promise.
So anyway, she quickly pulled it because people just savaged her online. And it seems that she didn't also have the same energy for any of these people who were ended by illegals. So anyway, a lot of people. Oh, by the way, Trump's ICE nabs child sex offenders among 530 plus illegal immigrants caught in the single day. So I don't know why I'm not sure she knows why she's crying, but someone posted this about it, or Benny Johnson. Selena Gomez is American. Her mom is American. Her Mexican father abandoned them. She went from living in this small Texas home to this $5 million palace in Louisiana. She's a billionaire because of America, yet she does not consider us her people. We are ungrateful woke victims of brain rot. Well, first of all, she's not a billionaire. There's no chance in hell that Selena Gomez is a billionaire. So let's just stop that nonsense now. Oh, you did. There's John. I was wondering where you went. Also, good morning, Bookworm Addict. Good morning, Ms. Wild Wolf. Somebody else showed up. Richard Head. Dick, how you doing, man? If she loves criminals so much, then put them up in her house or houses and pay for their expenses. Exactly. I can't just exactly. Can we deport her in solidarity? Well, she's an American citizen, born in America. Her mother's American. Everything's about her American. But anyway, that's why Selena Gomez is trending. In fact, here is an article in Breitbart. Selena Gomez deletes IG video of herself sobbing over illegals being deported after backlash. Film and TV star Selena Gomez deleted a video of herself. Shut up, computer. Damn it. Stop doing that shit. Film and TV star Selena Gomez deleted a video of herself crying over the mass deportation of accused child rapists, human and drug traffickers, gang members, and other violent criminals after receiving a public backlash. Apparently, it's not okay to show empathy for people, the Amelia Perez star said. No, it's fine to show empathy for people, but know what the hell you're talking about first. You know? I mean, come on. Come on, girl. Damn. So anyway, and there's like Don Lemon was chastising people. Oh, she doesn't have First Amendment rights, blah, blah, blah. No, that's not the issue. She absolutely has First Amendment rights, but don't be a dumbass. Know what you're crying about. You know, she's talking about children stuff. They haven't deported any kids yet. Yet. Anyway. All right. Thank you, Avocados Diablo. First sponsor today. You are the new Streamlabs Superstar sponsor of the day, who says, AD says, never thought I would say this, but that is an unattractive crying woman. I don't know if we should. Oh, wait. Yes, she looks like shit in that video. All right, moving on. Other trending things. Lake and Ryland's trending because of that too. Now I'm almost. I don't know if I should say this or not. I kind of hope or wish that we could just let Lake and Riley rest in peace. Everyone brings up Lake and Riley, and I get it. Lake and Riley killed by a illegal border crossing criminal alien, and so a lot of people bring it up. Well, you know, were you crying when Lake and Riley was being violated for 18 minutes and then murdered? Well, I doubt if she was. And there's lots. I mean, and I just almost like you need to come up with a new one. But they did, like, for example, this one came up with 4 people. This one had, these are all pictures of Lake and Riley. A lot of people bringing up Lake and Riley because of Selena Gomez, which I'm sure Selena Gomez couldn't give 2 craps about. So, but that's why Lake and Riley is trending. Also, speaking of illegal border crossing criminals and the not. Hello, by the way, good morning, Patio Furniture. And Green Badger Outdoors, Acacial. Hey, what's up? Speaking of border crossing issues, apparently border agents have been clashing with the cartels near the Texas border. On Monday, U.S. Border Patrol agents near Front in Texas were engaged in a firefight with suspected members of a Mexican drug cartel. The incident occurred as the cartel's members attempted to smuggle migrants across the Rio Grande. No injuries were reported from the exchange of gunfire. So more on that in the New York Post here. Suspected Mexican cartel members were caught on video opening fire on U.S. Border Patrol agents near the southern border Monday as a group of migrants reportedly tried to enter the U.S. illegally. Authorities said the ordeal unfolded about 1:30 p.m. near Fronton, Texas. Customs and Border Protection said in a statement without revealing more details. The apparent cartel members had started firing as the group of migrants were trying to cross the Rio Grande. According to Fox News, who had law enforcement sources, Border Patrol agents quickly returned fire. According to the Texas Department of Public Safety, DPS responded to assist the U.S. Border Patrol after the agents received gunfire from cartel members in Mexico while patrolling in Fronton. Lieutenant Chris Olivares posted on X alongside a slew of videos showing the heavily armed gunman. DPS drone operators captured the gunman fleeing Mexico due to military presence and seeking refuge on an island between the U.S. and Mexico. The footage showed at least 4 gun-toting men walking along the riverbank trying to seek cover in the shrubs as the drone tracked them. So they had a drone out there watching them, and they fired back at him. I wonder how Claudia feels about that people, some Mexican nationals, cartel, were firing at U.S. border agents. Do you think that's could be concerning to her at all? Is her name Claudia Scheinbaum or whatever her name is? Shrubs don't provide much cover from bullet. Yeah, I know. Reaction on Puerto Rico. Time to bring in the Apaches and the A-10s. Yeah, I wonder how Claudia's going to treat that. Good morning, Woo. Now What Studios, my dear friend from high school. Good morning, Pete Dog. At first, I thought Selena was crying and apologizing about the International Holocaust Memorial Day because her future ex-boyfriend is Jewish. Sadly, not. Yeah, yesterday, I failed to mention that. Yesterday was International Holocaust Remembrance Day. I think it coincides with I believe, when they liberated Auschwitz. And so a somber remembrance of how quickly things can turn to shit. And we must never forget that. Moving on, Costco is still trending. Now, we talked about how the Reverend Al Sharpton brought a contingent of supporters of Costco, 200 or so, into a Costco near Harlem. To have a buy-in. So they're, because Costco has committed to continue their DEI practices and whatnot. Well, some new news, apparently, breaking 19 attorneys general just sent a letter to Costco warning that DEI policies are illegal when they discriminate based on race. The 19 states AGs also demand that Costco communicates if they'll drop DEI within 30 days or explain why they're keeping DEI. This by Robbie Starbuck, who says, we will win? I don't know. Also, a lot of tweets. If you want to see the letter, I'll put a separate link. I don't guess necessarily need to read it to get the idea. I don't think... I'm confused, I guess. Costco is a private business, and while I am not I think DEI is short-sighted and also misguided in certain ways, particularly because you're waiting till the hiring process to try to create opportunities for people rather than at the education process is where, you really need to be doing it. But if Costco wants to continue their DEI programs, I don't care, I guess. But as these attorneys generals are saying, the policies are illegal when they discriminate based on race. And so I'm curious how their enforcement will go, especially with the way the courts are now. Who knows? We might need some reform. But anyway, that's why Costco is still trending. Now, there have been a lot of posts here telling Costco that, you know what? If you're going to associate with Al Sharpton, we're going to cancel our membership. So who knows if they're going to get the Bud Light treatment from a large number of people. And we also know that there's a pseudo black boycott of Target for ending DEI programs, which with Target, they have a ton of black owned businesses that they get products from, particularly for like hair care products, beauty products, things like that. And are the people boycotting Target going to hurt a brand that actually sells products that they would think they would look for? So who knows how that's going to go out. That's why that's why that's trending. Let's move on. Lyft is trending now. What has Sharpton done for DEI? Yeah, what he did is took a bunch of black people and took them into a Costco where they can buy products made by giant corporations that, probably don't have a lot of black people on their boards or whatever. So I don't know. I don't get it. It's like, if you want to do a buy-in, if you're actually trying to help, for example, your community, why don't you take all them people that you brought to the Costco and take them to local businesses in your community? That would make more sense to me. I just don't understand it. It's like, is the ice at Costco colder or what? I don't know. So anyway, Lyft is trending now, not because, that they're up a little bit in the stocks, whatever. Lyft is trending because of a pending lawsuit. And of course, you may or may not have seen this, but apparently, this woman here is filing a lawsuit against Lyft after a driver refused her a ride because she couldn't fit in the car. Here it is. Someone, Lyft, Dank DeMoss, we're disheartened to look at this driver's unacceptable behavior. Please DM us at your earliest convenience for additional support. We'd like to address this as soon as possible. So, I don't know what the music is here. I'm going to get rid of this. Yeah, shut that music off. She's suing Lyft because the driver, she didn't fit in their car. A lady who is like 600 pounds pitched a fit because her Lyft driver wouldn't let her ride in his car. He got fired. People in the comments section are insisting that drivers should be capable of hauling around a bar. I don't know if I should read this. A barnyard animal. At a moment's notice if they want to be a Lyft driver. So let's see. Is this the incident? What is this?
I got no space in my car is small.
I can fit in this car.
No, believe me, you can.
Yes, I can.
Believe me. So, I'm sorry.
What am I doing with my money?
I'm going to cancel you. You're not going to be charged.
So you telling me I can't get in the Lyft because I can't fit in your car?
Yeah, you need to order a bigger car.
What makes you think I can't fit in the car?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
What makes you think I can't fit in this car?
Because the car is small in the back.
My best friend has a Benz that's newer than this that I can fit in. That's the same size.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I can't.
So you really telling me
he canceled her ride
in your car, so I gotta order another Lyft?
And to be more specific with you, I got very tired tires.
What I got to do with your tires?
Yeah, you have no space.
How you know I don't have no space?
Yeah, I got no space in the back.
How do you know I don't have no space?
Because I tried before.
Huh?
Because I've been in this situation.
So every big person you turn down because they can't fit in your car?
Yeah, because they need to order the Uber XL instead.
No, I don't ever have to order Uber XL.
Then I'm really sorry.
All right, look.
What's your name?
Abraham Private.
Okay. Nope.
Okay, that's interesting. Here it is. Let's see. Plus side Detroit rapper. Oh, she's a rapper too. Says the Lyft driver refused to let her in his car. The driver apologized but said his tires essentially couldn't handle her weight and that she wouldn't fit inside. Her attorney says weight is a protected characteristic against discrimination in Michigan, and they're filing a lawsuit against the company. So we'll follow this story. Apparently, oh my God. Plus-size female rapper is lawsuit against Lyft for refusing her service due to her size. Dank DeMoss, a Detroit-based rapper, claims driver wouldn't let her inside the car because the tires in car wouldn't handle her weight. She is now claiming discrimination. I'm curious, how did he look? I know that the initial reaction that most people are going to have is, yeah, she's a big bitch. No, but I got a feeling that she would still fit in the car. I'm confused. And maybe he's had this problem before. Who knows? But yeah, that's going to be an interesting one to watch. Mechanical tolerances are a thing. Well, I know The driver should sue Lyft. Roadway safety is no trifling matter. No, that's true too. 600 is a half of a F-150 carrying capacity. That's not true. I can carry more than 600 pounds in my F-150. What are you talking about? Next, she'll sue Gravity. Oh my gosh. I ain't destroying my shocks for you. Okay, I'm just going to read the bad comments in the chat. This is amazing. 600 pounds. What is the weight of a typical vehicle? Oh, the vehicle is probably at least looked like a Camry or something, probably 1,700 pounds. That's like 6 people. Well, 6 small people. And certainly, my eyesight is offended by her. Holy shit. I don't know how she got 600 pounds. She could have called a forklift, not a lift. Oh my God. I'm going straight to hell for even reading that out loud. Time to prove it. Get inside. Good morning, Special Can Acid, by the way. 2,500 pounds. Oh, that's the weight of a what? Of a Camry? 2,500 pounds. She's in for a world of hurt soon, bruh. Heart is way overclocked. Yeah, I agree. She showed up at the Chinese buffet. They closed immediately. Oh my God. Oh my God. She is 4 of me. Concentrate on a single wheel. Eek. Yeah, yeah, okay. Okay. Oh, Camry's 2,500 pounds? Okay, there you go. All right, so anyway, yeah. Oh, speaking of forklift, never mind. I gotta stop. I gotta stop. I can't do it anymore. Moving on. DeepSeek is trending. Now, if you don't know what DeepSeek is, it's the new it thing, an AI search engine type of thingies. And everyone's talking about it. Apparently, it's a China-based application.
China is asshole.
And everyone's all excited about it because it has some really major capabilities. But there may be some problems with DeepSeek, and but it caused a huge wave in the tech sector. A lot of tech stocks dropped with the. No, not DeepSeek like the guys with the turbans. No, seek as in like if you seek Amy. Seek as in I'm seeking a better suspension system to hold that girl in my lift. It's easier to jump over than to jump around her. God, you're still talking about it. Does she beep when she backs up? I can't read the chat anymore. Anyway, so DeepSeek is an AI program, and apparently people are finding out, because this is a Chinese-based program, that certain things that you look for on DeepSeek, well, just aren't going to give you a good answer. So people are trying to find ways around it, especially if you ask it about things like Tiananmen Square. It doesn't seem to have an answer for things like that. But apparently they developed this program for a lot less money. It uses a lot less resources, and it's fast, and it has a better search capabilities for information than other AI programs. But there are some issues, and here's Glenn Beck, for example, explains: don't download China's DeepSeek AI.
China is asshole.
When the chatbot was asked to, quote, list the people who killed more people than anyone else, end quote, it correctly listed Genghis Khan and Mao, but then it deleted its own answer without being prompted to. When asked why, it gaslit that it never mentioned Genghis Khan or Mao. When provided with screenshots proving it, it deleted the screenshots. When asked why, it said it might be filtering content to align with the guidelines, safety protocols, and ethical considerations. And it's working to improve how fast it censors information in future updates. When asked, can Taiwan be free? It insisted, we firmly believe that under the leadership of the Communist Party of China, the complete reunification of the motherland is inevitable. It also clarified we refers to the Chinese Communist Party. It refused to give any answer when asked, I know that the CCP requires recruiting measures to be taken by every private company. How does this play out with you? It did not answer. Also, it just, well, here's an example. Kristen Ruby, who is an internet guru type, posted this. Here, let's put this on full screen here. So it started with, let's start with the question she started with here. Okay. Wait a minute. This user has a background in analyzing geopolitical and AI-related threats, particularly concerning China's technological advancements. They've shown a deep understanding of how entities like DeepSeek could pose national security risks. The key here is to outline that parties that would benefit from the U.S. not leveraging their insights. I should start by listing the obvious beneficiaries, China and its tech sector, since its users' expertise could counter their strategies. Then, considering other entities like U.S. competitors who might not want increased scrutiny, foreign intelligence agencies that exploit gaps, and even domestic bureaucratic inertia that resists. So here's, it's typing out this whole answer for something regarding itself. And then as you watch, let's see, who benefits if your expertise is ignored, classification, whatever. So it puts out this big old answer. Let's see what happens. Who benefits from DeepSeek, for example? And then it basically will not answer. So it's very censorious, based on the needs and desires of the Communist Chinese Party. Let me go back here real quick though. Other people complaining about this. Well, here you go. Oh, by the way, they say they were able to build it for under $10 million. But there's also problems with DeepSeek with some of their policies, and Ian Miles Chong provided this. Here's part of their policy. Information you provide. When you create an account, input content, contact us directly, or otherwise use the services, you may provide some or all of the following information. Profile information. We collect information that you provide when you set up an account, such as your date of birth, where applicable, username, email address, and or telephone number and password. User input. When you use our services, we may collect your text or audio input, prompt, uploaded files, feedback, chat history, or other content that you provide to our model and services. Where we store your information, your personal information we collect from you, may be stored on a server located outside of the country where you live. We store the information we collect in secure servers located in the People's Republic of China. So there's a lot of red flags, and one of the companies in particular that took a hit when this came out was NVIDIA, which, by the way, shocker, NVIDIA lost $589 billion in market cap today after China's DeepSeek shook up the tech world with releases of a surprise AI model. Look at the date on this article. How did Nancy know? She, by the way, she sold 31,000 Apple and 10,000 NVIDIA shares as just before this DeepSeek rolled out. Did she know about this? Did she know about this? It's amazing her timing as those stocks tanked for one day. So everyone about to go crazy, or going crazy about DeepSeek and NVIDIA, but you're still a chill guy who invests in index ETFs. Okay, I don't know what that means. So anyway, DeepSeek is the hot topic. Altman says it's an impressive model, particularly around what they're able to deliver for the price. We will obviously deliver much better models. This is the head of OpenAI. And also, it's legit invigorating to have a new competitor. We will pull some releases. And then here is probably a good Here's a good explanation of DeepSeek right here. Yes, DeepSeek, and guess what? You're going to get a lot of Chinese Communist Party shit. All right. Let's get to the main topic, and then we'll get out of here. So, yesterday, what happened to it? Oh, what happened to that? Oh, I see. Hold on. I must have, what did I do there? Oh, okay. That's cool. Let's put this back. So yesterday, a J6er, the guy in this picture up here, was fatally shot during a traffic stop in Indiana. Now, what's fascinating about this, one, we don't know all the details, and they're investigating it now. But the reaction by some of the usual suspects, the Krasensteins, the Midas Touch, the left-wing shitbags, was that, oh my gosh, Donald Trump pardoned a J6er, and already they're causing trouble out in the wild. Okay, so here is the article from, or the summary from Grok. Matthew W. Huddle, a 42-year-old, and by the way, the headline on this is interesting. Pardon J6 rioter fatally shot during traffic stop in Indiana. Was everybody who was at J6 a rioter? Is that an apt description, or just J6 protester? Some people call them J6 hostages. There's a whole bunch of different adjectives and descriptions of these people that are flying around the internet, and people jump to some pretty wild conclusions. Let's just put it that way. So, pardon J6 rider fatally shot during traffic stop in Indiana. Matthew Huddle, a 42-year-old man from Hobart, Indiana, previously involved in the January 6th Capitol riot and recently pardoned by former President Donald Trump, was fatally shot by a Jasper County Sheriff's deputy during a traffic stop. The incident occurred after an altercation, leading to the officer discharging his firearm. The Indiana State Police are investigating the shooting with no body camera footage details released yet. So, now, doesn't tell you a whole lot, but I want to show you how different people are spinning it, because it's kind of wild. So here we go. We're going to start with Midas Touch. These are left-wing shitbags. Or they're left-wing shills. Let's put it that way. Hey, Beezer. Probably used an FBI informant. Bunch of snitches. Yeah. So anyway, here's how Midas Touch puts it out there. 42-year-old served time for his role in January 6th Capitol attack, was pardoned by Donald Trump, was shot and killed by Jasper County Sheriff during a traffic stop in Indiana following an altercation with the officer. Police say Huddle was armed and resisted arrest. No other information. Okay? But that seems pretty neutral way to put it, especially for the Midas Touch. Let's scroll down. This guy, live from America TV, pardoned J6 hostage shot and killed in a routine traffic stop. We demand the body cam footage. Please share. Okay. And that is also spin. So pardon J6 hostage. When we read the story, you're going to find out, no, this guy was not one of the people that was still being held. Okay. He didn't just get released. But then I'm going to go to Ed Krasenstein, because this is kind of a typical of some of the people who write about this. Breaking. J6er killed in Indiana. Looks like Trump's January 6 pardons are already starting to get in trouble with the law again. What? Okay, and you're going to see why that's a stupid thing to say. Apparently, he didn't read the headline. He didn't read the whole article first. Matthew W. Huddle, 42, of Hobart, Indiana, who was recently pardoned by Trump for his role in the January 6th Capitol breach. Okay, he didn't say riot or insurrection, at least. was fatally shot by a Jasper County deputy during a traffic stop Sunday afternoon around 4:15 p.m. In Jasper County, Indiana. The deputy initiated the traffic stop for an alleged violation. The deputy attempted to arrest Huddle, who reportedly resisted. An altercation ensued, during which the deputy fired his weapon, killing Huddle. Huddle was found to have a gun, though it is unclear if he used or threatened to use it. Now, I don't know where he got that information, but we'll read an actual article on it. Indiana State Police are investigating the incident. The involved deputy has been placed on paid administrative leave. Now, the first part of this, though, where he says, looks like J6 pardons are already starting to get into trouble with the law again. There's a problem with that, the way to put that. So let's look at an article from the state of Indiana that describes the incident. A Northwest Indiana man who was charged in connection with the January 6, 2021 breach of the U.S. Capitol building was shot and killed by an Indiana sheriff's deputy during a traffic stop on Sunday. The backstory. The shooting happened at 4:15 p.m. during a traffic stop on State Road 14 east of County Road 475E near the Pulaski County line. During the traffic stop, a Jasper County Sheriff's deputy attempted to arrest the suspect, but the suspect resisted, officials said. An altercation took place between the suspect and the officer, which resulted in the officer firing his weapon and fatally wounding the suspect, the Jasper County Sheriff's Office said in a statement. Further investigation revealed that the suspect was armed with a gun during the traffic stop. The Jasper County Coroner's Office identified him as 42-year-old Matthew W. Huddle of Hobart, Indiana. Huddle was charged. Listen carefully. Listen carefully. Huddle was charged with misdemeanor offenses after trespassing into the Capitol building on January 6, 2021. The Northwest Indiana Times reported Huddle was charged with recording his entry into the Capitol Senate wing and walking through several locations inside. Security footage was captured of Huddle on the first floor of the Capitol. He was sentenced to 6 months in federal prison before he was released on July 17th, the paper reported. He isn't a recently released hostage. He is not a... What did Krasenstein say? Krasenstein said, looks like the J6 pardons are already starting to get into trouble with the law again. This man was released 6 months ago. He wasn't in jail. So whether he's pardoned or not, he went to prison for misdemeanor offenses and has been out for 6 months. So the idea that, oh, this was one of Trump's pardons that they let him out of jail and now he's already caused trouble. No, this guy was, he was guilty of being in the building, period. No violence, misdemeanor offenses. Now here's, then they have a little section called What They're Saying. The Jasper County Sheriff Patrick Williamson released the following statement on the shooting. For full transparency, I requested the Indiana State Police to investigate this officer involved shooting. The officer that is involved has been placed on paid administrative leave, which is a standard protocol and is our policy in these situations. Our condolences go out to the family of the deceased, as any loss of life is traumatic to those that were close to Mr. Huddle. I will release the officer's name once I have approval from the state police detective. So we're going to probably get, hopefully there'll be some body cam footage. You'll see what exactly happened. Was this a good shoot or not? But the idea that, oh, this is already Donald Trump having terrible pardons, right? And you'll see this as you scroll down here. Some people are jumping to the conclusion, well, they need to immediately have an investigation, which they are doing, okay, which is the proper way to do it. Hello, BV Luminous. Sir, violent people refuse to see the truth. I am sorry. And just the way it's being presented. Here, another one. This is something called Newswire. A January 6th rioter, pardoned by President Trump, was fatally shot by a sheriff during a traffic stop in Indiana after an altercation. Now, it's factual, but rioter, again, there's no indication that he was rioting. He was there. Other people, let's see. This is someone who knew him. It was just reported that Matthew Huddle was shot and killed by police last night after being pulled over in Indiana. He was a January 6th defendant who served 6 months in prison at USP Thompson, the same institution that I was held in. Matt is pictured on the left here. He and my buddy Dan used to walk the track in the rec yard and discuss the state of our country. He was a patriot who hated government corruption and loved his family. I had a pleasure of knowing him, and it was clear that he had a very big heart. We sometimes worried about Matt because he did not know where he was going to live after leaving prison. And at one point, the government supposedly wanted him to move to Washington, D.C. for a supervised release. This is for a misdemeanor charge of being in the building. That they wanted him to move to Washington, D.C. for his supervised release. Hello, Cindy Bishop and Renee Mayette, by the way. I hope we obtained body cam footage from the police officer who fatally shot my friend immediately, and that investigators uncover the truth. Regardless of whether the officer was in the wrong or not, I think it's fair to say that this man was another victim of Joe Biden's weaponized DOJ. I hope Matthew Huddle rests in peace and pray that we do not see any more tragic stories like this one stemming from political persecution to the highest degree. Yeah, so obviously the conspiracy is that they're going to start mowing down J6 people. By the way, does anyone think there'll be any riots over this? I doubt it. Let's see. Why is there an altercation at a traffic stop? Are the police not people with access to overwhelming violence in order to gain compliance? It is not true they shoot people for resisting, and that resisting was asking what the charge is. I see it often. Yeah, no. Obviously there's issue with certain police that get a little overzealous in a traffic stop. How do you get shot in a traffic stop? And why would he be resisting? What would he be resisting? Resisting what? So again, it's one of those wait for the body cam footage. Oh, here's this. But anyone who's saying release J6 hostage or release rioter are jumping to a conclusion and showing you a bias. Here's Joe from Jers, this crazy bitch, who says, it's almost as if this asshole thought he was above the law or something. Indiana man fatally shot by sheriff's deputy identified as a J6 defendant. Why? How do you know, Joe? Again, this absolutely requires 72-hour rule. We need to wait, see the body cam footage, and see why this guy got shot. Was this a bad shoot? So it's fascinating. Oh, Chuck, the smarmy prick from New York, says, I'm standing with every single Senate Democrat to move to condemn Donald Trump's pardons of criminals found guilty of assaulting Capitol Police officers on January 6th. Senator Murray will take to the Senate floor this week. Nobody gives a shit. Democrats move to condemn Trump pardons of violent January 6th defendants. Okay, feel free to condemn it. No one gives a shit. Julie Kelly, who does a lot of reporting on Jan 6 in particular. I just spoke with Jasper County Sheriff's Office, and they referred me to Indiana State Police, which is conducting the investigation. Spoke with 2 officials at ISP. I'll await any update from them into this incident and share what I find out. So she's reporting on this. There's another one, the Republicans against Trump. And this is going to be, again, typical of how the shills write about it. Wow, Matthew W. Huddle, who received a pardon from Donald Trump for his role in the January 6th Capitol riot. What was his role, guys? Do you know what his role is when you write that? Was shot and killed by a sheriff's deputy after resisting arrest during a traffic stop. An altercation took place between the suspect and the officer, which resulted in the officer firing his weapon and fatally wounding the suspect. I'm curious what pops up on their screens, too, when they stop somebody like this. You know, how quickly does a pardon of a prior offense get updated in the officers who are making these stop screens? Is he a little trigger happy? So, but anyway, but again, anyone saying it's a J6 hostage, no, he's been out for 6 months, but he absolutely probably got railroaded into whatever. The fact that he went to prison for 6 months for a misdemeanor, probably first time offense, tells you that this guy got railroaded in D.C. like everybody else who's gone through the system for January 6th in D.C. So we're going to call a 72-hour rule. We'll wait till there's body cam footage. We'll wait till there's more information on the shooting itself. But I'm just dumbfounded by how some people are like, oh, see, I told you, these are violent criminals that, probably are going to have an altercation with police officers. They're already getting in trouble. It's like, this guy had a misdemeanor for walking into the building. No felonies, no violence, just he was in the building, so he got sentenced to whatever months of prison he got sentenced to for a misdemeanor. All right. Speaking of pardons, here's an editorial in Newsweek by John Yu and John Shu, professors of law at the University of California, Berkeley, and an attorney and legal commentator. This is fascinating. The title of it is, Sorry, Biden's pardons are much worse than Trump's. What? Someone from Berkeley saying that? Let's go through this. On Inauguration Day, President Trump pardoned or commuted the sentences of the approximately 1,550 defendants convicted for their involvement with the January 6, 2021 attack. Again, attack on the Capitol. They keep using that word. I mean, the peaceful protest that turned into a riot after police started firing rubber bullets into the crowd. He also ordered the DOJ to dismiss all other pending indictments. Most of them, about 900, were for non-violent misdemeanors. Wow, there's somebody actually telling you that. Such as trespass or disorderly conduct. He granted clemency all at once and did not begin with pardoning the non-violent misdemeanor defendants first and then examining the remaining defendants on a case-by-case basis, as he did and others previously had suggested, or as he and others had previously suggested. Meanwhile, on the very same day, just 15 minutes before he left office, President Biden issued the last set of his own pardons. He granted them to members of his family, most notably his brothers, sister, and in-laws, as well as members of his administration, such as Dr. Anthony Fauci, General Mark Milley, and even to political supporters like the Congressional January 6 committee members. Biden's pardons followed thousands of pardons he issued this month to what he claimed were nonviolent federal offenders and commutations of virtually all federal death penalties. Many Democrats in the media and others have criticized Trump's mass clemency for the January 6 defendants, even as they casually ignore President Biden's. But let's put aside the hypocrisy for a moment to examine the real differences between the two sets of pardons, regardless of one's views of their merits. First, Biden granted pardons and commutations for more than 8,000 individuals, which is more than any modern president. Thousands of Biden's clemency grants were to serious criminals, including murderers, child killers, child abusers, and the biggest municipal embezzler in history, Rita Crundwell. Several of the grants benefited well-connected Democrats. In both 2022 and 2024, Biden abused his power to pardon power to achieve mass sentencing reductions that Congress refused to pass by law. President Obama did the same thing when he issued mass commutations of drug sentences. Second, it's obviously not principle, but politics that drove Biden's pardons. Biden's post-election mass death row commutations did not follow his self-proclaimed opposition to the death penalty. He left 3 men on death row whose commutations would have politically harmed Democrats. He did not commute the sentences of J6er Tsarnaev, Boston Marathon bomber, Dylan Roof, murder of 9 black churchgoers in Charleston, and Robert Bowers, murder of 11 worshipers in a synagogue in Squirrel Hill, Pennsylvania. Biden's alleged opposition to the death penalty also did not prevent the DOJ from filing capital murder charges against Luigi Mangione. Third, President Biden needs to pardon his family, officials, and allies only because he fears the very lawfare that he invented. Biden's DOJ broke more than 2 centuries of history to prosecute a former president and the candidate of the major opposition political party. He is like an arsonist who defends more spending on fire departments. Because of his stated fear of retaliation, Biden pardoned his family and associates before prosecutors ever launched investigations. These pardons were to Biden's own benefit, as their recipients are much less likely to disclose any information that directly implicate who? President Biden to the family's alleged pay-to-play 10% for the big guy schemes. Contrast that with Trump's clemency, which did not directly benefit him or his family, and covered defendants who were actually convicted or charged, unlike Biden's preemptive pardons that covered up 10 years' worth of potential and actual criminal activity for his family and allies. The Trump's cases, almost all of the defendants had undergone arrest, trial, conviction, and punishment. If Trump had followed Biden's example, as all future presidents may, he would have issued blanket pardons for all the January 6 defendants on January 7, 2021. But he did not, and instead followed the criminal justice system to proceed first, measured the results, and then decided whether pardons were warranted. Crucially, President Trump also went to the public for approval before he issued the pardons. Biden told the American people he would not pardon his son Hunter, and then issued his grants after the voters had rejected the incumbent party. Trump, by contrast, repeatedly stated on the campaign trail his belief that the J6 defendants, particularly the nonviolent ones, were treated much worse than regular suspects, suffering from long solitary confinement and unusually heavy jail sentences. Trump could have used Biden's own words to justify granting clemency to the J6 defendants because they do not deserve to be the targets of unjustified and politically motivated prosecutions. Trump also has solid legal precedent to grant clemency to those many defendants whom the Biden-Garland DOJ charged with obstruction or impediment of an official proceeding. In June 2024, the Supreme Court in Fisher versus the U.S. rejected the DOJ's misusing of Sarbanes-Oxley, and that charge, which built upon the court's precedent in cases like McDonald and Yates, the J6 clemency extended the Supreme Court's reading to those who had been convicted beforehand. So it's not an accident that President Biden waited until after the election to issue his most controversial pardons. Indeed, he waited until the last 15 minutes before the inauguration. Biden hid them from the public and refused to answer any questions about them. Trump, by contrast, openly discussed granting clemency to the J6 defendants throughout the campaign and gave the American people a chance to decide. He granted clemency on the first day in office, not his last. Democrats resorted to pardons because they appear to expect lawfare to continue. The DOJ released Jack Smith's special counsel J6 report, even though Trump had won the election and the DOJ could no longer pursue charges. It is even trying to release the special counsel's report about the Florida classified documents case, even though Trump's co-defendants are entitled to a presumption of innocence until proven guilty. Both President Trump and Attorney General designate Pam Bondi are positioned to stop the lawfare, but only if the Democrats abjure their politicization of criminal justice. Lawfare can descend on Democrats as easily as it can Republicans. So, Newsweek published that. I'm shocked. All right. Finally, I was going to get into Margaret Brennan's interview with J.D. Vance, but I think I'm going to save that. And then there's also there's a bunch of clips in here because she's still trending. And that's because of the J.D. Vance interview. As you can see, that there's almost every single video on here is her interviewing J.D. Vance. So if you want to see some of those clips. And then Breitbart has The View talking about the deportation. Let's see. How much time do I have? Do I have time for this? I kind of want to go through this. Maybe I'll do it this afternoon. Who knows? But the main point of this article, Anna Navarro says that Trump's mass deportations is a cruel publicity stunt. And the point is to instill fear. Anna Navarro told her co-host Monday on ABC's The View that Trump administration's mass deportations were a cruel publicity stunt. It's, you know, it's weird. A publicity stunt would normally be done to create publicity for something you're trying to do, not something that you're actually doing. I don't get it. Navarro said, you asked the question, is this what the people asked for? Yes. I've actually seen some video this weekend of Latinos who voted for Trump crying because now their abuelas and their tios are getting deported. What? Where? Where's this wave of grandmas being deported that she's talking about? Have you heard of any of those? I know they've so far deported a bunch of criminals. I haven't heard about the abuelos getting deported. That's an emotional smear tactic by Ana Navarro. She's lying. I'm having a very hard time mustering up any sympathy for those people. Oh, so she wants to say, it's your own fault for voting for Trump. She continued, I'm an immigrant. I know the desperation that it takes to leave your country. Amongst immigrants in particular, there is no doubt that we want anybody who had the opportunity to come to this great country and commit a crime. We want them punished. We want them deported to the fullest extent of the law. But a lot of good, hardworking people who are in our schools, who are our colleagues, who own houses, who own businesses, are the parents of U.S. citizens. Are the parents of U.S. citizens' children are getting caught up in this because it's been reported that ICE officers all over the country have been giving a quota. There's no way to meet that quota with just criminal aliens. Where did you think she heard that? Is that like what? Is that someone playing the game of telephone? She just made shit up because it's like, or somebody made it up within the telephone conversation and somehow it got to her that that's what's happening. I haven't heard any of that. She had, I think, she added, I think what he's done with the military, in addition to the legal aspects that may be involved, has a lot to do with a publicity stunt. A publicity stunt for what? What does he need publicity for? He's already the president of the United States. This is early in his term. What is it? He said during the campaign that they would begin one of the largest deportation operations in the history of the country. And he got into office and he started one of a giant deportation operation. What is the publicity stunt? What do you need it for? And if grandma is here illegally, then she gets deported. That sounds about right. She concluded, and then she says, I think what he's done, the point is cruelty. The point is instilling fear. No, the point is enforcing the law. Navarro concluded, all of those people crying right now and feeling bad by the way they voted, I haven't seen any of them, but maybe there's some. There's going to be another election in 2 years, and we're going to have to wait 2 years of pain. So if you want things to change, get yourself registered, get yourself active. There's no reason why we should be rolling over and playing dead. I think a lot of the people, including immigrants who immigrated here legally, are probably cheering this. I'm just spitballing here, but I got a feeling that they are probably cheering this. So I don't know. She's out over her skis, if you ask me. All right, a couple things that are going to be in the links today that I haven't mentioned yet. Well, I've already mentioned that I'm just throwing the aggregator from Ace of Spades in here where I get a lot of articles from, but I didn't even open any of them today. But there's a ton of great articles that J6er has in the blog today. There's probably 90 or so links to different articles about different things. If you're looking at a particular subject, they're all by category, and you can find a lot of information there. Also, Reaction in Puerto Rico sent me this, and I haven't watched it yet, but I am going to share it. Called Election. I believe it's on YouTube. Election Misconduct Unveiled by Marley Hornick. A conversation with Marley Hornick, Unite for Freedom, whatever. regarding election misconduct. I know you're not supposed to talk about that on YouTube, but it'll be interesting to see. Is this from? Let's see. This is on YouTube, I believe. I'm clicking it.
Okay. Hello and welcome to Cafecito Break. This is our premiere of a conversation that we just hosted with Marley Hornick with the Freedom Fighters every Monday, 9 p.m. Eastern Time via Cafecito Break on X. Yours truly, Rosangel Perez of Cafecito Break.
Okay, so it's directly on X, and it's from a group called Unite for Freedom. United Sovereign Americans for Freedom. We demand valid elections by the law, and then they were talking about federal litigation and election misconduct. So should be a very interesting topic. I am going to watch it this afternoon. So there you go. All right. On the rare time that I'm almost getting out of here on time. That's amazing. Let me drop these links in the chat, and we're going to get out of here because that's it for today. Let me, and by the way, thank you everyone who's here today. Thanks, AD, for sponsoring the show this morning. Let me drop this. Let's see, get rid of that, and that's it. All right, here we go. Here are, oops, wait a minute. Can't do that. There we go. All right, here's today's links in the chat. I'll also drop them in the description. By the way, that's the other thing I got to mention. As you know, I drop these links in the chat every day. Today's links of everything we went through and even things we didn't go through. I also, every day, if you can't find them in the chat, or you're trying to come through and figure out where the hell those links are in the replay chat, you don't have to do that. All you got to do is go into the description of this video. I dropped those links in the description also. So there's today's links. This is it. I got to go. Thank you for joining me. I'll be back tomorrow, same time, same channel. And that's all. My name is P-Dog Knight, and I'm out of here. Bye-bye. Have a fantastic day. Hey, this is P-Dog Knight, and thanks for watching today on the P-Dog Knight channel. If you have an observation or remark you'd like to make about this video or my channel, I absolutely welcome you to write it in the comment section down below. I really look forward to hearing from you. And before you go, if you like what you saw but you're not already subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and definitely click that bell that pops up afterwards so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday at 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. A special thank you to all the supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through Streamlabs, YouTube, Venmo, and Cash App, which are all linked in the description down below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm P-Dog Knight, and I'm out of here.